All right, so who doesn't love a bit of competition, right?
Hmm.
Especially when it comes to football, or well, I guess football for some of us out there.
Right.
But we're talking Premier League today, and you know how much we all love a good prediction, trying to get one up on our mates.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what if you could test your football knowledge against, well, something a bit more analytical?
Okay.
Bets Adjuster just launched this new prediction game.
They have, yeah.
It's AI powered, which already has me intrigued.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this. The basic idea is pretty simple, right? It's a new Premier League prediction game. We've seen those before.
We have. Yeah, it sounds familiar at first.
But this one, I think, has a bit of a twist.
It does, yeah.
So walk us through it. How does this thing actually work?
All right, so every game week you're given 100 points.
Okay.
Think of it like your virtual betting pot for the week.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
You have to predict the outcome of each match. Pretty standard. Win, lose, or draw.
Simple enough.
And Bet Suggester, they set the odds beforehand based on, well, all sorts of factors, but we'll get into that.
Okay, so far so good. Sounds a lot like those other prediction leagues out there.
But here's the thing. You have to use all 100 points every single week.
Oh, interesting. So I can't just like load up on the matches I'm super sure about.
Exactly. That's the catch. Even if you are absolutely positive about 4 matches, you still got to place those remaining points.
Even if it feels like a total shot in the dark.
Yep. Could be a blind guess, gut feeling, whatever you got.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun, right? Adds a layer of, well, strategy.
I see. So you're forced to make some decisions, even with those matches you might not be following as closely.
Yeah, exactly. Makes you think a bit differently, maybe take some risks you wouldn't otherwise.
Okay, I'm liking this already. This is a good wrinkle. But hold on, you mentioned AI earlier. That's where this thing gets really interesting, right?
It does, because the real challenge, you see, it's not just about beating other, armchair pundits like yourself.
Oh, okay.
It's about going head-to-head with Bet Suggester's own prediction AI.
So I'm trying to outsmart an algorithm? Is that what you're saying?
Essentially, yeah. Imagine pitting your football knowledge, everything you think you know, against this system.
This is starting to sound a bit intimidating, honestly.
Well, it's designed to be a fun challenge. But the AI is no slouch, let me tell you.
So, spill the beans. What kind of data does this AI actually look at? I mean, is it just past match results?
It goes way beyond that. We're talking, yeah, past match results, obviously, but also player stats, individual performance metrics, all that good stuff.
Okay, getting a bit more granular.
They even factor in things like, get this, weather conditions,
Yeah.
home advantage, injuries, who knows what else they're cooking up in their algorithms.
So it's not just about knowing the teams, it's about like understanding all these tiny little factors that could swing a match.
Exactly.
That's wild.
You're trying to outthink a system that's constantly analyzing, crunching numbers, looking for those hidden patterns.
Okay, now that raises a really interesting question, at least for me. Does playing against an AI like this, does it change how you approach predictions yourself?
That's the fascinating bit. Do you start to second guess your gut feeling?
Right, like do you become more data-driven because of it?
Exactly. Do you find yourself questioning your own intuition, maybe even leaning more on data analysis just because you know that's what the AI is doing?
It makes you really think about that whole process of prediction, doesn't it?
It does. It's not just a game anymore. It's almost philosophical.
Right, because
Yes.
you're not just competing against other fans, you're competing against this whole different way of looking at the game.
Exactly. Whole different way of thinking. And it's not limited to football, is it? This whole AI thing.
Right, this is bigger than just, who's going to win the match this weekend.
Precisely. This seemingly simple game becomes a reflection of how AI is entering so many aspects of our lives these days.
It's everywhere you look.
And it kind of begs the question, is it a tool, a competitor, something else entirely?
It's a really interesting thing to consider. I mean, next time you're watching a match, think about it. Think about all those factors that go into it, the data, the intuition.
The gut feeling versus the algorithm.
It might just change how you see the beautiful game.
It might indeed.